Today, I'd like to show you how to create a daily session note in the SimpleIsUs software. To begin, select Add New Client. A new screen will populate that allows you to begin entering data. If the child has Medicaid, enter the 13-digit Medicaid number. Enter the child's last name, enter the child's first name, and middle initial if you have it. Enter the child's gender and date of birth, child's address, the city, the state, the zip code, and the child's phone. The next section will be the provider information. In this section, you see that there is a lead provider. If you're an independent provider, this will be yourself. This is the name that will populate on the contact note form. If you're a supervisor, you select yourself as the lead provider, and you can select additional providers if you're having an assistant also see the child. So again, the lead provider would be the supervisor, and any additional providers would be your assistants if you have one. Would also like to point out in this section that in the event that you have a provider going on vacation for some reason and you're having another provider step in, you can change the additional provider. This will allow the substitute provider to have access to that child for documentation purposes. The next section is patient status. In this case, these are boxes that need to be filled in on the CMS 1500 form. They do not pertain to clients in the early intervention system, so we have them already populating as no. The next section is responsible party, head of household. You'll enter the parent's last name, first name, and middle initial if you have it. In early steps, most of our clients live with their parents, so you have the ability to click here and the address for the child will move over. I should point out here that the phone number for the child populates as the home phone for the parent. If this is incorrect and the parent only has a cell, you can copy and paste it into the cell. You'll want to enter the parent's email address, and the next section is medical information. Under medical information, there are 4 boxes. This is because there are 4 empty spots for ICD-10 codes on the CMS 1500. You'll want to enter your primary medical diagnosis in the top box and any secondary diagnoses or tertiary diagnoses after that. We have referring physician listed, and that is so the OTs in early steps can detail where their physician's orders are coming from. So here we're going to enter the doctor's name. You can leave ID number for referring physician empty. You'll enter the date of the MD order. And just as an aside, when the physician's order is about to expire, so the physician's order is good for a year, about 30 days before expiration, the system will begin to prompt you that your physician's order is about to expire. Here you'll enter the date of the annual IFSP. This is a date in the future. It will look funny, but it is on the first sheet of the IFSP. Once you've entered all the data, you'll select Save New Client. On purpose, I wanted to show that if you accidentally did not enter the correct number of digits for a Medicaid number, it will let you know. So we're going to go ahead and fix that to make it 13 characters. The system will not know if you've misspelled names correctly, but it does know if you don't have enough digits. So now we've entered Johnny into our database. If you scroll down to the bottom of the screen, you'll see 3 orange tabs. In order to completely enter all of the information, you have to visit all of these tabs. The first tab is authorization information. The second will be outcome information, and the third is service coordinator information. So let's go to authorization information and enter the child's authorization. You're going to select Add New Authorization. If you entered a Medicaid number on the first screen, the radial for Medicaid will already populate. If you did not enter a Medicaid number and this child is Part C, you'll have to select Part C. Enter the authorization number for the child. So this is a letter followed by 9 digits, a dash, and another number. In case you haven't figured this out, the client ID are all of the digits, the 9 digits, that are between the letter A and in front of the dash. So I will just copy and paste it over. The print date, this is on the authorization form, which comes from the Early Steps website. The start date, the end date, you'll see one-time authorization. If you're doing direct services and you're seeing the child once a month, twice a month, once a week, that is not a one-time authorization. One-time authorizations are single domain assessments, team meetings, evaluations, assistive technology. It's something that happens once and then you don't get to bill on it again. So you'll enter the EI procedure code. Each discipline has their own EI procedure codes preset into the system. So if you register as OT, yours will automatically populate. So I know that 4513 is my direct child service for occupational therapy. Notice that the EI procedure code populates, the CPT code populates, the service type populates, and the procedure populates. Those are all connected. You'll enter the number of visits. This is your frequency. So I'm going to see this child once a week for 60 minutes. Next is your service location. The service location is also connected to the EI procedure code. So 4513 means I'm seeing this child in the natural environment. If you are not seeing the child at home and a different service location populates, then you'll want to enter the facility name and the address. Since this child is seen at home, I'm going to pull from the client address, and all of the information that I entered on the first screen will populate. You select Add New Authorization, and then you've finished entering the child's authorization information. If you need to enter another authorization, you can do so at this time. If not, select OK, and then you can go back to the child's screen, back to client information, and you'll want to enter the next tab, which is outcome information. In order to enter outcome information, you'll select Add New Outcome. You'll put in the child's outcome number. We're going to enter 2 outcomes for Johnny. And the outcome statement. Johnny will sit during play activities and meal times. Once you add the outcome, it populates in the box. You select it, and then you're going to add a goal connected to that outcome. So now I'm going to enter the goal. We will be satisfied when Johnny sits hands-free for 10 minutes while manipulating toys. You must enter exactly what is on the IFSP. And you save the goal. Now when you select on Johnny the outcome, you'll also see the goals associated with that outcome. If you need to add a new outcome, and I said we would have 2, you enter the next outcome. Johnny will drink from a bottle during meal times. We're going to add this outcome. It populates in the box. We're going to add the goal associated with the outcome. We will be satisfied when Johnny will finish a 3-ounce bottle in 15 to 20 minutes, 3 times per day for 2 weeks. Enter exactly what's on the IFSP. In my opinion, feeding is all domains, so I'm going to select all domains. Save new goal. Now when you look at the outcomes, outcome number 1 has a goal associated with it. Outcome number 2 has a goal associated with it. You can continue to add goals and outcomes in this manner. When you're finished, you go back to client information, and the last tab that you need to visit is the Service Coordinator tab. Again, at the bottom of the screen, you select Service Coordinator information. If this is the first time you're entering this agency, or if it's the first time you have this system, you'll need to begin to add your agency. So you're going to add a new agency. You type in the agency's name. You type in the address. The city. The state, the zip, and you add the new agency. The next time you get a child with the same agency, they will populate in this box. You'll be able to select them, best agency, and that information comes in. You'll need to put the service coordinator's name, the service coordinator's phone, and the service coordinator's email. you have entered all the child's information. We're going to go back to the client information screen. And I would just like to show you one other item on the screen, which is View Files. View Files is your file manager. This allows you to place all of the information, files, IFSPs, handwritten home programs in one place. So I'd like to show you to upload a file. You select View Files, add a new file. You're going to upload the file from your computer, so you're going to go and choose the file. In this case, I know that mine is under this PC, Documents, Torticollis Treatment, and I will open the file. What I like to do is, of course, title the file, Torticollis Treatment Strategies, and then if I gave it to the child as or the family as parent education, I'll just title it and the date that I disseminated it, and then add the file. So now that becomes part of my collection of information. We're going to go back to the client information. Once you have entered all of the client data and you have visited all the orange tabs, you are ready to start entering daily session notes in your system. Thank you. Hope this helps.